Okay guys, so I want to talk a bit about the compression possibilities on the Alesis Strike Pro. Now I'm not going to explain what compression is, what it does. There are a lot of YouTube tutorials you can find that are going more into particular subject of compression itself. I'm just going to show you how it's done and how it can make your overall drum sound a lot better. So let's just dive into this. I'm just going to use the standard kit for this, just to show you the big difference that it does make when you apply the compression in the right way. So as you can see here, my faders are just tuned down a lot on the cymbals. That's because when the compression comes in, the cymbal sound overall goes up a lot, and the way I adjust the cymbals, yeah, it's a lot better for me to do it like this. So the overall volume will also jump up. I will go into the voice setting here. Now we just assume that your triggers are already set up the right way. So the way the triggers work, you have already done some work on that, and that it's okay. Now, let's start with the snare. So what we basically want to do is first to go into the FX MIDI. And we want to remove the reverb. You can also always edit it later, at a later stage, but now we just want to hear what the compression does. So here we can see, so we go to, let me do it again, click on voice, click on FX MIDI, and then you can see the compression on the left side here. So the compression is now off and now it's turned on. Okay, so if we go to the left here to Kit FX, we can see the reverb, equalizer, the compressor, FX1, FX2, and we need the compressor, so that's the third one. Now it says master, yeah, and we can switch to radio 2, soft type, bright, country, crunch, so you can do all different kinds of compression. They have made some presets on how it will be compressed. What I generally use is the master, because I want a master compression. Okay, so the compression will be on every instrument, and to make it function, we need to go into the threshold. Yes, like this. And now let's hit the snare. Okay. So let me adjust it to 0 again. This is louder now. Yeah. So with 0 compression, 0 threshold, it's a louder sound. Now you might think that this is good, but we are now going to lower the threshold so the compression jumps in, and it will become more snappy. You can see here, this is too much, way too much compression. And now it has just completely destroyed the sound. So we need to be somewhere between 20 and 0. So we're just gonna tune. I want to leave it at minus 18 dB. Now on the right side we have an output, and this output, it will just boost everything that is going through the compression the way you want it, as loud as you want it. So if anyone thinks that the Alesis module can't do a high volume on the headphone outputs or the main outputs, this is what you need. So this output, we're gonna boost it, and now we have a freaking snare. So, going back to the threshold, now let's jump it back to 0. It is really loud, but it's not compressed, so it's just a lot of volume. Now we are compressing it more. And now you get that production sound, smashing drum sound. Like you are hitting the snare with an insane amount of power. Yeah? Okay, so let's fine tune it now. I actually like it at -24 now, because the output is also louder. We can now hear better what the compression does, and it leaves more of the snare open with a lot of compression on it. So, okay. That's the snare. Let's go to the bass now. So we go back. Yeah. Just let me go back into Kit FX one more time. So going back to the compressor, this amount will be transferred to everything that we are turning the compressor on. Yeah. So now we go kick drum, FX, and we turn the compressor on. Okay. So the difference, without the volume drop, on now, we have a lot more bass. I will turn up the kick drum here a bit. So let's go back. Let's go, well, we can stay here. So for the toms, now it's just as simple as going to FX, enabling the compressor. Yeah. Voice, going to tom 2, FX, and I don't need to jump. Okay, no, tom 3, tom 4. Okay. So now if I hit the toms, yeah, so that's obvious what it does. So let's do the cymbals. Now hitting the cymbal again. I have my cymbals set really on low volume here. So I'm going to up it a bit. Okay, so this third one, let's turn it on. So this is without, this is with. A heck of a difference. Now the last one. Also here you can see what it does. Okay. Hi-hat. Yeah, check this out on the right, it's insane. Okay. So now everything is enabled with the compressor, and this is how it sounds. So yeah, that's just basics on how to set up the compressor now. How much extra volume you want is just, you know, adjusted on your mixer panel. I just want to say something more about how to get an even better sound, because this is basically what compression does. Okay, so we have the decay here. Let's just do the snare first. So, for those who don't know, the decay is how long will the sound continue until the file is fully played. So 99% will play the whole sample, and going less will play less and less of the sample. So the snare now becomes really short. Now, if you're going for that, then that's awesome. For me, I'm always turning the samples all the way up, because now I have a lot more sound. Except for when it comes to the bass drum, I will keep it short. So you can. This is the full bass drum, which already is pretty short here. Ah, we have two here, so let's make it, let's do it like this. Turn them both down. Okay. Both all the way up. More bass in the end. They are short samples by themselves. But if you will take a jazz bass with a lot of boom in there, then the decay will, you know, make it shorter or longer. So let's just leave it like this. Now for the toms. Okay, so it is set to 75, so the toms will just, you know, decay in a very short time. Now I have more toms. So the compressor, the compressor that we are using will be affected by the decay, because there is more sound playing longer being pushed into the compressor. Now the compressor compresses everything, which means that the sound that is the lowest will also be pulled up. So this is short. And this is long. And now you can hear the going all the way to the end. Okay. Yeah, so the difference is really noticeable here. Short. Long and loud. The last one. Okay. Okay, I'll need to turn up. Okay. Now, for the hi-hat, you can do the exact same thing. It's already on 95. So you can make the hi-hat really short by itself, or just leave it along. My hi-hat is currently standing open because I can't put my foot on the pedal because the camera is in the way. Yeah, let's go to the crash. I don't know if many people know this, but we have a, well, obviously we know that we have a bow and we have an edge. And I really don't understand why anyone from Alesis in their sound packs would, yeah, for crash cymbals, I would just advise don't use a different bow and an edge sample. Just put the same thing on there. So let's do this now. Let's just check the edge. We want the edge. That is the, we have now 99% decay. So that's a Sony Paste 18-inch 2002. Okay, now we have the edge. Yeah, so now we have the edge on the bow and we have the edge on the edge. And now let's turn up the volume for both the same. I just do him 99%. And that's also why in the start of this video you can see that my crashes are way down here, because I just add a lot of volume here, which gives me more power in the mix on the mixer itself. So now I have the edge on the bow and the edge on the edge itself, which is the way a crash sounds when you hit it, you know, except when you are just playing it on top. But how many times are we doing that? Yeah, maybe if you are a jazz player or funky. For me, I'm trying to build a rock kit. I just want the crashes to crash wherever I hit them. No noticeable difference, just volume itself, but not in the sound type. So on the top it is too loud now. So I just tune it back a bit. And now if I hit it hard on the top or on the side, it gives me the same sound, which is great. Now let's do the same thing for the second crash. Let's make the level louder. This one louder. I want to decay. Maximized. Maximized. And now, yeah. Let's go into the instrument. Whoppa. And now again, it doesn't matter how I hit it, it's just a volume thing. Which is great, because now when I hit my crash, it will sound like a crash cymbal, whatever I do. The last one. So instrument. On the edge is this one, on the bow is this one. Let's change it to edge. Go back. Okay, let's change the volume. Oh, there's also the panning that needs to be done. I forgot about it. So R25. Yeah, now. Okay, so that's good. Did I or did I not? Yeah, so it needs compression. All the bows and edges need compression. Okay. Now this is gonna be sounding great. So yeah, going back to the voice. Let me check the volumes, because now all the volume levels need to be at 99%. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting excited. Okay, so now, as you can see, it changes from the bow to the edge, and it sounds exactly the same. So whatever I do, whenever I'm playing and I'm hitting on top, just not hitting the edge exactly, will sound the exact same as the way I want it, you know? And you can do the same for everything, but, you know, keeping your height and keeping your ride with like a 3-zone thing is great, you know? But it's just a personal preference. So, the ride, I don't know, you know, I can ask this question, why would Alesis do this? But please, you know, just 99% on a decay on the bow, and the ride goes like. Yeah, so this is how long your ride actually continues. Let's put it back where it was. Yeah, so that, come on, 99%, you know. So now if we just do the same on the bell, 99%. Now that's the bell sound. On the edge, full. Everything sounds better, because this is the way it was recorded, you know. So let's check out the whole drum set, just play a bit on it. If things are too loud now on specific things, it's just a matter of mixing it here. Let me just play a little bit, and yeah, I'm not going to show how I'm playing, it's just, you know, for a sound reference now. So check it out. obviously you can adjust the reverb for every little thing. So let me just turn it off for the kick drum. Bam. The snare is all ready. Let's just delete the whole reverb thing for now, making it a dry sounding drum set, but with full samples, compression, and a lot of volume. Now, if you are going to use the reverb to give your sound more room, you can also adjust the way the room sounds, which is great. And I still forgot to do one thing, which is the panning. So bow needs to be on L. Or this one is centered. That one is where it needs to be. Okay, so now let's play again. So yeah, I hope that this will help everyone who is searching for how to adjust a drum set to make it sound better. So I will go once more into the FX. No, not here. Into the kit FX, into the compression, and just turning it down to where it was before, which is 0 here and 0 here. So this is without compression. Now this is with the compression and everything we adjusted. Okay, so thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. Tell your friends, about this. And the Alesis Strike Pro is really an awesome kit. We are all enjoying it. The people who are taking the time to fine tune it. So have a lot of fun.